Joining me now for the latest on this military campaign, now 1 month old, General Keith Kellogg. General, great to see you. Let's just look at where we're at right now. You've been following this as close as anyone in America. Here's the map. The red is Russia. The blue areas in which Ukraine is defending. What concerns you most from the Ukrainian perspective?
Yeah, Brian, thanks for having me. Well, I think first of all, the Ukrainians are fighting with incredible courage and the great leadership, starting with Zelenskyy. And I think what you're looking at is the Russians have stalled out. And my concern right now is that they're really going to load up and they're going to have to go after Kyiv. Kyiv actually is the crown jewel. That's the king on the chessboard. They've got to take Kyiv. That's where the center of government is. That's where Zelenskyy's at. And if they don't take Kyiv, they actually lose. The problem is I don't think they can take it without rebelizing it. And what I mean by that, they're going to bring a lot of artillery. They're going to do the same thing you saw at Mariupol and Kharkiv and just shell the heck out of it, because they have to take it.
Right.
And here's what's interesting to me is that looking at the map right now.
Yeah, let's take a look at the map.
They're about as extended as they can be. Well, if you go to the map right now, it looks to me like he's going to really focus on eastern Ukraine, not the west. He does not have the troops to task to move to the west. I think if I was going to predict this, if he can take Kyiv, and I'm not saying he can,
right,
but if Putin can take it, I think what he'll say is, okay, let's call it a day. Let's negotiate now. I own the eastern part of Ukraine. You've got the western part of Ukraine. If you drew the line on the Dnieper River going north to Belarus.
This is the Dnieper River. I just put it in red right here, so go back to the map.
And that gives him the sanctuary he wants. But if he doesn't get it, he doesn't take Kyiv, he's got a major problem. He can't get to the west. That is actually Badland territory. That's another 400 miles to the west.
Right.
He's going to extend his logistics lines. He's going to be facing a lot of NATO allies out there, the NATO alliance out there. I think he just may call it a day because he's not winning at all. If this was a prize fight right now, Brian, right now Zelensky's winning on points.
So you also
Putin
told me about
this.
Look at the south. They had the Donbass region. Obviously, they had Crimea. That's all red. But you look at here, this is the only city that he's won so far, and they're pushing back are the Ukrainians. I hear this is just tremendous street-to-street fighting. Mykolaiv, they're fighting like real Spartans, but they're trying to block Odessa. Could you see a scenario? And by the way, ton of fighting here, and there's a sense within Mariupol that they could lose the city sometime this weekend. Can you see a scenario where he gets Odessa and says, okay, I got my buffer zone, war over, I win, even though we know the losses and the humiliation, and his goal was to win in 2 or 3 days, and it's already been 24. Could you see that?
Yeah, Brian, I can, because he will realize that he cannot take all of Ukraine to the west. He'll also realize that what's happening with the sanctions and the entire world pressure on him, that he's going to try to cut the best deal he can. And as long as we can keep Zelenskyy alive, we're okay. Right. Remember, just a few days ago, the International Court of Justice at The Hague voted 13-2 to say this is genocide and this is a war crime.
Right.
You know, he's facing a lot of uphill activities right now. And I think the biggest one are the Ukrainians pushing back. And again, and I really mean this, if Zelenskyy can hold on to Kyiv and they can hold that city, I think they're going to win this fight. Right. You know, when you go into a city, you know, normally you want to have a 3-to-1 advantage when you go into a fight. You're going to need about a 10-to-1 advantage, and he doesn't have the troops to task to do that right now. General, he's bringing troops in from Moscow. He's extended everything. Yeah,
begging China for help. We only have 25 seconds. You have one out-of-the-box thought you want to leave us with today about Finland?
Yeah, look, we need an interlocutor, and we have to find somebody who can talk to Putin. And I'd go to the president of Finland, President Niinistö, who knows Putin, has been with him. Finland has a history of defeating, or at least coming to a draw with the Soviets in 39 and 40 in the Russo-Finnish War. And Niinistö is a very seasoned politician. He's the one we should go to and say, look, become the interlocutor for us. Talk to Putin. Let's see where we're at. They haven't done it yet. They should.
Right. We can't wait to talk. We got to figure out the right terms. Let's get some tactics and stop reacting. Lieutenant General Keith Kellogg, always great, always educational. Thanks so much.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.